All right, peace, y'all. Welcome back to the world headquarters of RPM Speed and Sport. I just got done posting up the kid kart stuff. The Brayden driving his go-kart in the new parking lot at the Bell River Elementary School. I actually, I mean, it's not that the accident isn't graphic. You can't see it anyway. He's behind the hedge from where I'm at. If you've watched all the videos, you'll notice that read the descriptions, first of all, because I explain a lot in there. We learned some things the next morning. The kids were actually here for a week. So the next morning, I was watching video. Brooklyn came down from sleeping, woke up. Brayden came down, got him some breakfast, and they were sitting behind me while I was watching the videos. And Brooklyn is, I mean, these kids are smart. The two of them are almost the identical size, physical size. Brooklyn was born 3 months premature, so she's a tiny kid for being 12. She's very small. She looks like she's 8 or 9, like Brayden, right? So, but as we were watching the videos, she was giggling about that backfire. She mentioned, Bub, did you hear that pop? You know, when you watch that second video, he comes past us, and I'm laughing because it sounds like he's floating valves, man. I don't care if he saws the engine in half. All I know is he's on it by the sound of the motor. And when he let off the gas going into that island, it made that backfire. And after I shut that clip down, we watched him go around a few more times, and it was just doing the same thing. He'd come across where the edge of the grass was, on the gas, around that last cone, still on the gas, and then right past us, and he'd let off right about where we were standing. And it would pop, 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 pop. It got a little worse, and she's laughing. She said, it sounds like popcorn. Why does it do that? And so I explained it to her. When he's on the gas and the engine's revving up and he lets off the gas, it's unburned fuel, pop, 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 you know. She didn't understand it, but it was an explanation. Well, if you watch the video when he goes in there and he bounces off the curb, there's no backfire. And what we found out the next morning after we all watched the videos, we went out to the garage, and some of it is apparent after he bounces off the curb and the chain comes off. It isn't just his foot on the gas that's making the motor rev up. The throttle was hung up about 1/3 throttle. So it wasn't stuck, because I went out in the garage and flipped. I pushed it down and let go easy, and it kind of stopped. I reached up, and it did come back a little bit more, about 1/3 throttle, right? But I pushed it down, let it go, and it came right back to 0. So it's hard to tell why it did what it did, when it did it. But the cool thing is, Bray was turning. It was going in a little quicker than he expected. He was turning and running out of room, and he panicked, pushed on the brakes, and rotated the kart just enough. If he'd have hit it with the front wheel, he could have hurt his little wrists, could have broke a hand. He certainly could have tore up a bunch of expensive parts on the front of that go-kart. But he didn't. He hit the brakes just enough to rotate the kart, and it just glanced off with that one back wheel. We couldn't really, I mean, there was a lot of, like I said, forensic investigating going on. All 4 of us, me, Brayden, Sherry, and Brooklyn, all trying to find out exactly where the scrape mark was, because there was no skid marks. The paint was gone off the wheel, and some of the material was gone, but we really couldn't see a spot where it scratched anything. And Sherry kind of pointed out from where she was at where it looked like it happened, and she went back and sat where she was at while me and Brayden walked back and forth, and she told us to stop right there. That's about where I heard it. So we figured it out. It is partly my fault, I guess, because I should have put extra springs on it. I mean, there was already 2-3 springs on the throttle. So I mean, how many more damn springs can you get on it? I mean, the darn thing was not designed to have a bent rod running the butterfly, the carburetor. It was developed and designed for a governor, unless you're going to run a float bowl carburetor with a direct throttle that's designed to be run that way. You know, a lot of different things that came into play, but the bottom line is I'm the adult, so it's my fault. And I let Bray know that, you know, I mean, he's gonna, I said, listen, you get to the racetrack, you're gonna you're going to run people over and hurt their feelings, and people are going to run you over and your feelings will be hurt. People are going to bump into you and spin you out. Your race will be over and it won't be your fault. So we said, this is how you learn. You got to learn how to handle these things, man. And first and foremostly, just be upfront. You know, he kind of said, well, you readjusted the brake pedal again, because he was riding the brake pedal that last time we took him out to East China. And the rear brake was smoking. Remember, I burned my fingertips touching it. It was so hot. So when Chris's kid rode the kart, I had changed the action of the pedal so it wasn't so sensitive, because it would travel a long way and the brakes were at the end. So what I did is, I told you, I kind of preloaded it a little bit, so it wasn't really actuating the brakes, but you only had to push on it a little bit to make the brakes work. So I split that difference in half when I took Brayden back out, and I told him about it. I put him in the kart before we started it. I told him, ease into the brake pedal, and I moved the kart back and forth so he could feel when in the pedal travel the brakes started to work. I said, now remember that. Work those brakes, gas brakes, off the gas, coasting in, use the brakes, turn the corner. You know, there's a lot of coaching that goes on between videos that you guys don't see. He did really well for going to a new place that he had not been to with an ungoverned engine. He knew, I kept telling him, listen, this thing's going to go fast. But it'll only go as fast as you make it go, so it's really up to you. So right now, he's excited about him, and I'm going to take him and Brooklyn. Maybe their dad, maybe Sherry, I don't know, but we're all going to go out to Lansing on the 6th of October, like I put in the description of that last video. And we're going to watch the championship race day, right? That's the end of the season. Right now, I've looked at pictures online, and I've sent them to the kids and said, listen, the kid that's winning most of the races, not all of them, but a good number of them, they got the pictures of the podium in this junior 4-cycle junior sportsman class, is a girl. And I said, listen, you know, that wound up Brooklyn. She maybe is changing her tune about wanting a go-kart now, but too bad we sold her go-kart. Brayden's like, wow, they have racing suits, and they have this, and they have said, yeah, it's racing, man. Of course, they got everything the big boys have, you know. So it's going to go a long way to keep him fired up over the winter. I talked to Noah Stark about, I don't know if Noah looks in here, about a used 206. We don't need anything super crazy fast. We don't need to go buying a new kart and a bunch of stuff to win. We just got to get him on a track and get him circulating with other kids. I mean, if he's struggling at the right on the second to last place guy's rear bumper and he's running last, and it's because the go-kart's not fast enough, then we'll worry about making things faster. We just, baby steps, man. We got to get the kid out there and walking the walk and going through the program and understanding the flags, the marshals. You get off here, you get on there, you only go when it's your turn to qualify, blah, blah, blah. Just learn the system. Just learn, because it's going to be a lot for a little kid's brain to take on, not knowing anything at all about it right from the get-go. So we just got to be a little patient. But that's it. What we're going to do here shortly is I'm going to cut grass today. That's why I got long sleeves on. I got to get out and cut grass. But we'll drain the oil out of that engine, take the engine off, put it on our engine shelf. We're going to have a bunch of engines on that back shelf in the garage, and probably put his kart on the stand. And maybe I take the axle out before October for our track day and give it to Kim at the racetrack and just have him straighten it. I think that's just the smartest way to go at this point. Doesn't make sense in buying a $150, $180 axle and take the chance of, you know, somebody running over his back tire the first time out at the track when we know he's going to be a lot slower than the rest of the kids, and bending a brand new axle. We'll just get the other one straightened out, because we are going to run that kart. We're definitely going to run that go-kart with a 206 on it. And the cool thing, kind of changed my tune about this whole 206 deal, is he's 9 years old. Next year he'll be 10. His birthday's in February. He can start on a green slide to get the green slide, which is the slowest, the gold slide for junior sportsmen. And then when he's an adult, you just put the adult setup on it, and he can run that thing till he's 75 years old or older, right? He could literally, as soon as he's old enough, I'm bringing him out to the track day to run the big track with his little 206. And he could literally run that thing. It's a pretty decent sized class. He could end up running that thing his whole life on the same engine, having it rebuilt. He'd probably wear the darn thing out. But that's where we're at. We're pretty excited about everything, and just checking our options, man, and gonna stay with it and stick with it. He's pretty excited. I told him, he's going to grow some more. So he's like, when do I get a racing suit? I said, next year when you're ready to go to the track, we'll take your measurements and I'll design him up a suit, and we'll have. That's right, Bob. That's right. It's going to have some Repsol stickers on it, or logos on it. You know it is. It's going to have the RPM logo on it. No Special K racing for us guys, man. We don't want to get spoiled with those big fancy sponsors like Special K. We're going to do it ourselves. We're going to do it the hard way. We're going to earn it, as Johnny West says. So that's it for our kid kart parking lot. We're done in the parking lot, man. I've taught the kid everything he can learn. He needs to go out to a track, get around there. I'll give him the best, as much advice as I can, but he needs to follow other kids that are doing it, that know what they're doing, if he can stay with them, and he'll figure it out, man. That's the way I did it. My dad threw me in the fire and said, you'll be fine. Just drive the track. Just drive the line. The fast guys will pass you. Trial by fire. And look, I turned out okay. That's it. We're done putting up the videos. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure enjoyed him taking it slow and easy at first, and then just floating those valves. Man, he was on it. That was kind of cool. Wish we had a wide open space so he could feel more safe. But that's it. That's it for the 31st and the last day of August. We're heading into September. Won't be long, folks. Won't be long here in Michigan before all the leaves are off the trees and the cold and snow going to be coming and all that. All that misery is coming. But it will get better. Godspeed, God bless. I'm praying for you. Talk to y'all later. Hang in there.